questions.
7-Eleven. They're no longer a 7-Eleven, but they kept the name because it stuck. It's what they were known for. What are some of the other logos or names that kind of stick out to you guys?
Like,
yeah,
they're just like iconic names, right? And like they're kind of a brand in and of themselves.
Yeah.
And you think, wow, man, how did they come up with that name? But as I was researching some of these, it's like these are the most simple, generic names possible. And we think there was like some brilliance behind it.
Right. Welcome to the Only Stupid Questions podcast, where we ask the questions that may be too stupid to ask. I'm Brandon.
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Matt.
Only stupid questions.
All right, I got a good one about 7-Eleven that's just super
All right,
short.
let's hear it.
How about we do that? All right.
Well,
Ooh,
7-Eleven
Slurpee sounds good.
I mean,
sorry,
7-Eleven
go ahead.
just happened not too long ago. Free Slurpee Day. Did you guys do Free Slurpee Day?
We used to when the kids were little. Not so much anymore.
I feel like people
Yeah,
have
I
ruined
missed
it.
it.
People have ruined it. People ruin everything.
They really do. They really
I
do.
know.
I think at first they started with bring your own container, so people brought 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot and really,
BYOC.
yeah,
Seriously.
And then they limited it. It has to fit within this space or this hole, and so people again ruined it. And now you get like little Dixie cups full,
Yeah, the free one's not even worth going in for.
and they still that's their number one sales day for Slurpees is Free Slurpee Day on 7-Eleven. So it's great branding.
Well, it's because if you're going to go in there and you get like this little like shot glass of a Slurpee, you got to pay for a big one. Like you're just not going to be left satisfied.
So
It's
you're
brilliant.
saying
Can't you just
say-
order up a double? A double shot? Can I
I
get a
need a
double
lot
shot?
more than a double.
Yeah, these guys are Slurpee drug dealers? Like, give them a taste, and they'll want more.
Yeah, you know what it is.
You know what it is. You know the kind. Yeah, 7-Eleven.
Mhm.
I'm a patron. I'm a customer of them once in a while.
That true? Where did they get the name 7-Eleven?
Well, do you guys know what 7-Eleven's original name was?
No. What?
You're never going to guess it.
5 to
'Cause
6.
it makes
11-7?
No sense. It might have gone well with Free Slurpee Day, their original name, and the Bring Your Own Container, because their original name was U Totem.
What?
You totem?
Yeah, U
Like totem
hyphen
pole?
TOT apostrophe M. U Totem.
You totem? Interesting.
Yeah, they must have come to a realization that was a really dumb name because back in 1946, they renamed it while they were trying to advertise their new extended hours of operation, which were 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Right.
Ever since then, they've
nice.
been known as 7-Eleven.
We call them the Sev.
Oh, cool. Are you the one that renamed Radio Shack the Shack?
No,
As well?
we have nothing to
Oh.
do with that.
Oh, okay.
I can only take credit for the Sev.
The Sev. That's so horrible. I would go back
It's
to
dumb.
U Totem over the Sev.
I kind
That's-
of like that first name. You totem?
You totem.
You totem.
You totem what?
You know, if they were selling like marijuana, maybe U Totem would be an appropriate name.
You token.
Maybe they were initially. You never know.
But U
You
Totem.
token. That's such a weird. I'm sure it has. I mean, do you have like a year on that?
1946 is when they rebranded
Okay,
to be
so
7-Eleven.
this is like one of those World War II era like catchphrases that they were playing on, or I don't know. Matt, you're the resident old guy. What were they saying back then?
Thank you. In the 40s?
You
Yeah,
were
thanks a lot
around
for that
back
one.
then, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep, I was driving my tractor and my dirt floors in my house and stuff. Yeah.
Well, what was it like? No. Oh man.
The nation had a lot of pride. We had a lot of soldiers out there coming home and going to war and doing all that stuff in the 40s.
A lot of patriotism back then. The greatest
lots of
generation.
patriotism.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore.
No, you guys have me thirsty for some. Oh, okay.
A Slurpee.
You guys
I'll
got me
take a
thirsty,
Slurpee right now.
thirsty for a Slurpee. Yeah. What's your favorite flavor?
Don't judge me, but I used to like the pina coladas.
Okay, they still do that, I believe.
Yeah. Do they? I haven't been in there for years, so I don't know. But pina
like-
colada was always yummy.
And I would always try and sneak the Coca-Cola Slurpee.
I was
Were
more
you
of
a mixer?
wild cherry man.
Oh yeah, so I'd go.
Did you guys mix your flavors?
Yeah, I'd try and do wild cherry and Coca-Cola. I'm with you, Bobby. Love the wild cherry.
Yeah. Nowadays, I'd probably go for the blue raspberry, though.
Ooh, and I love what it does to the kids' lips and tongue.
Well, there's just something about
think it's pretty
a
fun.
fruit that doesn't even exist. I mean, it's exciting.
Like a schnozberry. It's
There might be a
blueberry.
blue raspberry out there somewhere.
No, blue raspberries don't exist. That would be called a blackberry.
Well, it's not at Bear Lake. Yeah.
Yeah, you get real raspberries up there.
Yeah, you do.
Man,
The red kind.
I snuck in 4 raspberry shakes when I was there.
That a guy. That's the way
And,
to do it.
I even indoctrinated my nephew and niece into the ways of Bear Lake raspberries. For those who are wondering what we're talking about, Bear Lake,
Where did you
Utah,
go?
Idaho. I hit, let's see, LeBeau's. I hit Ephraim's, and then LeBeau's again. As I took them back.
Did you do Zips?
Remember the 4th one. Zips. The line was just too long, and LeBeau's was wide open. So.
Yeah.
Have
Just
you
don't
ever
ever
done
go
the
to the
gas
hometown.
station on the way out of Bear Lake?
Oh, yeah.
As you're
Yeah,
starting
that's
to
a
go
good
I
one.
down?
tried. It was
Good.
too early in the morning, and so I couldn't get one there.
Too early for mixing.
Oh,
It's
we
a
got a
baby.
visitor.
It's Hannah, but we won't call you Hannah Banana. We'll just call
No,
you.
your name is not Hannah Banana. What is your name?
Hannah.
It's Hannah. Hi, Hannah.
Hello,
Do you like
Hannah.
Do you like raspberry shakes at Bear Lake?
Who doesn't?
That's my girl. That's my
They're
girl.
very yummy.
Okay, go see Mama.
Ade.
Thank you.
Is
Thank
that
you
her?
for
Is that
coming.
her favorite flavor? The raspberries for everybody in the household.
Well, so at Ephraim's, I go with the raspberry cheesecake. So it still gives me the purity of the raspberry with an occasional bite of like a cheesecake chunk. And but I'm slowly warming up to the other flavors that the other places have because they're all really, really good. I'm still kind of a purist though when it comes to that.
Do you drive up through Brigham when you go?
Usually.
Okay, next time, stop at Call's in Brigham City.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
That's
okay.
a freaking good shake.
All right.
Halls does a good shake.
I'm telling you. So this year,
All right. All right.
I had to get some work done on the truck, and there was a small evap leak. You know, when you get the code on there that you got a small evap leak or whatever. Well, they fixed that. They did a smoke test, did all that stuff on there. Well, to make that go away so that it will pass the emissions test, you have to drive the car like 50 miles or something.
So naturally, you got to go
So-
up and get a milkshake.
Yes. So that was what I did. I just got in the truck and I drove to Brigham City and I got me a fresh strawberry shake at Call's. And it's the best shake I've had in years.
Strawberry.
It was amazing. I'm just
They're
saying.
great.
It was
then
like
you got
it
to
was kind
cruise
of
over from
expensive.
Calls over to Maddox Drive-In and get a
Nice,
turkey
yeah.
steak burger. So,
And then
Yeah, Maddox is yummy.
I hit up
and their steak fries.
the burger bar on the way back in Roy.
Yep.
We had some
All those
shakes
places.
there. Oh, okay. Well, I'll try Calls. That sounds great because headed up to Bear Lake in a few weeks. So
Yeah, stop at
Y'all's
Call's.
making me hungry.
maybe they'll still
Oh,
get it
come on
going.
back.
Well, you're the one who started it with the 7-Eleven and the weird name, Bobby.
Well, I think one of y'all started the 7-Eleven talk about talking
okay.
about Slurpees. I just educated you on their dumb name.
Slurpee sounds good, but not as
That's
good as
in
a
it.
shake.
Yeah. So 7-Eleven, they're no longer a 7-to-11, but they kept the name because it stuck. It's what they were known for. So driving up and down the street, what are some of the other logos or names that kind of stick out to you guys? That maybe
Well, you know
they're
where
the
Lexus
same
comes
boat, or-
from, right?
See,
Japan?
I don't. Yeah, Japan maybe.
So
I don't know.
Toyota needed no, seriously, Toyota needed a luxury line of cars.
Okay.
And so Lexus, what that stands for is luxury exports to the U.S. Lexus.
Wow.
So they're just telling us exactly what it is.
Yep.
Just on the nose.
We just took a Toyota and told you it's a luxury export to the U.S.
Yeah. Yeah.
We so
Lexus.
dumb.
And Toyota has to have to do something with Star Wars, right? Yoda?
A Toyota?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
It's
their
got
name.
to be right.
Their
Just
name.
kidding.
Yeah, name of the guy who
Nah.
started it.
I don't think, it's a Toyota guy,
But
right?
That's interesting. I mean, Japan in the auto industry, Nissan, they came up with Datsun back in the 60s, 70s. But that was the reason they did that was because if they failed, they didn't want to stain or bring shame on the Nissan name if they failed in the American market. And so
This is going to be so bad. Give it a
Right.
different name.
but they take their reputation so seriously, even to this day. Shout out to our listeners from or in Japan. It's very admirable the way that they uphold and care about their reputations and their names, especially when it comes to family or business. Yeah, that's interesting.
But
I
look
had
at
no idea.
Datsun today.
Right. And so they realized, hey, this is a success. They kind of scrapped the Datsun name, and
I think
Those
they
Datsuns
set it
were
up
cool.
for
they had some
failure
killer
from
cars.
the beginning by saying, we're not so sure about this, so let's give it this different name.
Yeah, it was destined to fail, but it was really cool. I mean, they had some cool cars
Great.
and trucks.
Yeah, they were really well made. They're classics.
And they lasted forever.
Yep.
Like
My
just a
dad-
few years ago, you'd see like this 1980s Datsun buzzing by you.
My dad
It's
had
like, man, that's a
Datsun
solid
pickup
car.
and Datsun pickup in college, the Z series of the Datsuns that continued when they scrapped the Datsun name under Nissan. Man, yeah, what a lineup, what a run. So
Maybe
Yeah,
that's ultimately why Datsun didn't continue. Is they're so reliable, they just couldn't keep selling them because they weren't dying.
yeah, they realized it was a
Yeah,
hit
probably.
and wanted Nissan to get the credit there. So yeah, it's interesting. Okay, Lexus, had no idea. It's just right on the nose, right there.
You know where
I have
Volkswagen
heard
comes from?
Volkswagen. Well, my
I
family.
think I know this one.
Oh,
My
okay, let's
family-
hear it, Bobby.
My family origins are really close to that area of Germany. But you gonna
So
give us
are you in the family?
Are you gonna give us a Nazi history here, or
I'm going to wait and see what Bobby has to say
I don't think
about
it's
it.
Nazi.
Okay,
and I
cool.
have a Volkswagen Jetta in the driveway. I love
right.
it. It's a great car, even though my teenager has kind of taken it from me.
Yeah.
But what I know about Volkswagen, I don't know a ton about it, but they're really made by the company that makes Porsche, which makes it obviously just a fantastic car. But you'll notice a Volkswagen is way cheaper than a Porsche. So if I know this, and I might know it right, but I believe they created this as a cheaper alternative car to be a car for the people.
That's right.
Yeah.
And do you know who phrased that or coined that phrase?
Was it Hitler?
Yep.
yeah, it was.
Car of the people. It was Hitler.
Yeah.
Volkswagen. So thanks, Adolf.
Volkswagen.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot. thanks for
Hey,
everything.
love him or
buddy.
hate him, Volkswagens are great cars.
They're
Are they
they're,
now?
They're stylish. Reliability can be argued, but yeah, they at least got some style to them.
Reliability, come on. Have you ever seen the movie Herbie?
There you go. They're iconic. Don't love the way they
They
started,
are iconic.
but they are iconic. Yeah.
We had a Volkswagen when we were growing up. We had a bus, one
Oh,
of those
man.
green buses. We called it the Green Giant. The thing was terrible. All I remember is for some reason, we didn't have air conditioning. I don't know if it was like just the compressor went out and we never replaced it or whatever, but I
Did
do
they
remember
ever have
being
air
the guy.
conditioning, the old buses?
They might not have. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. All I know is that we went on road trips. We went down to Bryce Canyon one time, and I was in the back, which that's where the engine is in those,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I was like on top of this hot engine in the middle of the summer with no AC riding down to Bryce Canyon. It was hell. It sucked. I mean, I guess
bet
you
the
can
rest of your family was
beep
just
that
fine.
out. I'm
So
sure
this
they
was,
were jerks
Was this 80s?
back in the
This was
80s.
going on?
Yeah.
So they probably had about 100 horsepower by then.
I don't know.
They were famous for being like lawnmower engines back in the 60s and 70s, but
Yeah, remember that they had kind of a sound to them.
Yeah.
You know, it was like,
Very.
I don't even know how to describe it, but it was like you always knew when we were coming, when the Parkers were coming up the road. You know,
Poor Maddie.
that was us
on
in the Volkswagen bus.
sitting on the engine. Oh man.
Yeah,
So that's
terrible.
interesting. I love the car industry history. Love all that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
You know,
we,
Toyota means fertile rice fields.
oh good. Oh good. Because that has
Just
everything to do.
Just
with
keep
a
that
car.
in mind when you go or car shopping. You want some fertile rice fields.
Hey,
I
that's
do,
why they're
I
called
do.
rice burners. I just
That's right.
got that.
There you go.
Look at that.
I don't know if that's why, but okay.
Well, I obviously just thought of it, so it must be true. Well,
Gotta
speaking
be.
of the Volkswagen buses, did you guys hear that they're coming out with the new and improved Volkswagen bus?
Is it the electric
No.
version?
Oh yeah,
or-
actually, I did see that.
Yeah, it's actually
Aren't they going to
pretty
be
cool,
electric?
but- yeah, it's going to be electric.
Yeah.
They're not going to be cheap though. They're starting at like 60 grand is like the
Ouch.
entry level of them.
For a Volkswagen, spare
Yeah.
me.
But I bet they'll sell them just because of the nostalgia
Yeah.
on them.
There's a fan.
Maybe.
They've got a fan base. They've got a fan base. Like some of these other companies that I almost started talking about Apple, and then I realized, wait a minute. I don't know.
Can you talk
if
about
we can
Apple?
even
Can
talk
you?
about- maybe. I don't know.
No.
It's a
I
it's a
probably can't
simple
talk about Apple.
explanation. Just he was just
We can
at
say
like a
how they
farmer's
got their
market.
name. It's a fact.
Yeah.
That's fine. Well, he likes apples, and he worked an apple orchard.
And yeah, I was
I'll
just
let you tell
thinking
the story though.
Volkswagen
When you
has
say
that
he, you're
huge-
talking about Steve Jobs, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Volkswagen has the rabid fan base, the loyal fans, kind of like an Apple. And that one's kind of a simple story, right? I mean, we got Steve Jobs, who, if I remember correctly, worked at a farm or a fruit
At an apple orchard.
orchard. Yeah, like an apple orchard. So it was pretty simple. Pretty simple explanation there.
How about them apples?
How
You like apples?
them apples? Well, maybe something a little bit more complex from a company that we use daily. When I say we, I mean a lot of the world. Google. Do you guys know how Google got their name?
Because
Yeah.
people liked Googling over the images they could find on the internet.
Okay.
No, you know,
Wow.
a Google is a large number.
Specifically, the number one, followed by 100 zeros.
Bunch
So
of
it's the
zeros. That's true.
The mathematical term, Google. Yeah, I think
Google.
it was kind of interesting. I didn't know that until I started looking into.
What
how
about
some of these
Cisco?
companies-
Did you know? Speaking of computer stuff, did you know Cisco? How they got their name?
I don't.
Of the Fran?
Yeah, they were in San Francisco, so it's just an abbreviation for San Francisco. And then if you look at their logo, it's just half the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah,
It's kind of cool.
People
I
take a
think.
look at the Cisco logo. I remember I was on a conference
Cisco
call
systems.
at work. I was on a conference call at work, staring at the logo as I was getting bored, and it hit me one day. Wait a minute, that's the Golden Gate Bridge. Cisco, wait, San Francisco. Oh, anyway.
Yeah, it's painfully obvious.
You know, some of
Now
these
that I see
company
it, yeah.
names, like
yeah.
they're
Once
just
you
like
do see it.
iconic names, right? And like they're kind of a brand in and of themselves.
Yeah.
And you think, wow, man, how did they come up with that name? But as I was researching some of these, it's like these are the most simple, generic names possible. And we think there was like some brilliance behind it.
Right.
Like-
Some kind of marketing lightning bolt that they caught. And
Yeah,
No.
most of them weren't.
yeah.
I
A
mean,
lot of them, like Virgin. You guys know how that one
Okay.
came?
Sir Richard Branson, why don't you tell us about that? I
Yeah, I
think
know
I
it's
know.
Sir
but
Richard Branson, but don't know how they got the name.
Well, so he and his business partners, when they were creating the company and trying to come up with a name, got it because they were all virgin to the new business.
Oh,
So they just
okay.
called it and settled on Virgin because they were all brand new to the business.
Wow, what a thing!
That's
to,
where they got
I've
that
always,
name. Pretty
always
easy, right?
wondered. It's super simple, but it's edgy enough, and people remember it. And
Yeah, it's iconic.
It's kind of what makes it iconic and genius at the same time.
Well, and then there's some. Did you know Wendy's is named after Dave Thomas's daughter?
Okay.
But
Yeah.
her name's Melinda, though.
Oh, what? It's Melinda?
Yeah, seriously. I thought her name was Wendy all this time. No, her nickname was Wendy. Her name is Melinda.
We got to
Oh,
do
yeah,
an
of
episode.
course you'd get
We've got,
nickname.
we've
We should
got
do
to do
nicknames.
an episode on nicknames.
Do you know how McDonald's got their name?
McDonald's.
Well, Mac was the guy, right? I don't know.
Well, so my son Teddy told me this today on the way home from Young Men's Camp. And he's just a matter of fact person, right? And he has like every fact in the world. But he's like, Dad, do you know how McDonald's got their name and who it was named after? And I'm like, I don't know. The guys who found it. He's like, yeah. He's like, they were brothers. One of them's name was Mac, and the other, I can't say his name because it's a bad name. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
it was Dick.
really? What is it? And I caught on, and I'm like, was it Richard? He goes, yeah, but they didn't call him that. And I'm like, oh, Dick? He's like, Dad, we don't say that word. And I'm like, dude, it's okay. It's just a name. So, yeah.
Yeah, did you see the movie Founder? The Founder?
About Ray Kroc? Yeah.
Yeah, Ray Kroc was not the founder of McDonald's. He just
Right, but he
took it to the next level.
Yeah.
No, he came along later, but in the movie,
right.
if you remember, they reference each other, right?
After I eat at McDonald's, sometimes I have digestive issues. And did you know that was the original purpose of Pepsi? Was
Yeah.
to help cure digestive issues?
Nice.
That's right.
Yeah, it was meant to cure something known as dyspepsia, which means indigestion. So
You are
Pepsi
correct,
was
sir.
the original remedy for dyspepsia, and that's why they call it Pepsi.
That's great.
I think all those sodas like that. Coke was a drugstore guy
Yeah.
too, and so was
They're
Dr.
all-
Pepper.
They all claim to be tonics or
Yeah, health
medicine,
drinks.
basically. When I,
Yeah, so
when I-
speaking of Coca-Cola, do you know how they got their name?
Yep.
Tell me.
I could assume from the coca plant,
Yep.
but
Well,
Yeah,
it comes
and the
from
cola
the coca leaves and cola nuts.
Yep.
So
Okay.
Coca-Cola.
I didn't know
and
the
then-
cola part.
Pretty awesome,
knew,
huh?
Knew the Coke part, but
Yeah, I
okay,
knew the
cool.
Coke part. I didn't know the cola part until today.
Cola nuts. Because I'm a big, I'm a connoisseur. when
Gotta
it
have your
comes
nuts.
to- oh man, and the Pepsi I found funny that he originally named it Brad's drink.
Yeah.
So
Brad
Think about
have
that for a minute.
indigestion?
So pass me the Diet Brad's drink.
yeah,
Just
give me
doesn't
some
have the
Brad's
same
drink.
ring.
And then their logo, they kind of had a plain blue. They actually used the script that Coca-Cola used, so they kind of jacked their style.
Mhm.
And then World War II hit. Here's where that Greatest Generation comes back, and they created that bottle cap wavy red, white, and blue logo that we know today for the sake of patriotism. So I thought that was kind of cool too. So way to
Well,
go,
speaking of
Pepsi.
the war, Brandon,
Yeah.
you know, back in
How was
those
it?
that same era,
Uh-huh.
they had to have a product to prevent corrosion.
Okay.
And so they left it to the scientists to figure that out. Well, one scientist in particular figured that out, and he used a process called displacing water.
Ah,
And he was on his 40th attempt when he finally got it.
beautiful.
And that product now is known as WD-40, Water
Love it.
Displacement 40.
Love it.
As
So
Preston
simple.
calls it, Panther Piss,
Oh, cool. Oh, good.
for some reason.
Because that's
What
what
does that
it
have to do with Panthers?
smells like. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Water displacement, people. So yeah, people
Yeah.
use it as a lubricant or maybe to fix a squeaky door on an old car. Matt,
All of
you
it.
remember? Yeah, but
It does everything.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I just sprayed.
It has multiple uses, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gets-
WD-40 fixes. It's like duct tape.
Technically, you should be using like a white lightning type product, but yeah, WD-40 does the trick for a little bit. Displaces water. You're exactly right. Cool. 40th
Mhm.
formula. That's some good old man knowledge right there. Or woman.
That's right.
Hey, we know everybody uses it. So Those are
What else you got
cool
for me,
facts.
Brandon? What else you got? Come on.
Well, you got Delta Airlines. That's a hub here in Salt Lake City, as well as some other places around the country. They were originally a crop dusting service, right up your alley.
They were
I-
crop
I know
dusters.
about crop dusting services.
Oh, some childish humor there for the people at home. Or
Eh.
the Huff Dusters. They renamed it Delta after the Mississippi Delta region it originally served. In 1929, the airline began operating passenger flights that could carry how many people do you think they could originally carry? 1929.
I don't know,
5.
like 5.
Holy cow. Did you guys read the article? 5 passengers and a pilot was their original
Yeah,
payload.
baby. So 6
Yeah.
total.
6
Wow.
total.
We were both
But
wrong.
I had no idea it was a Delta originated airline, crop dusting origins. Yeah, that was cool. It's a major airline.
I got one that I bet you know.
Okay.
3M.
Let me prove you wrong. Okay.
I bet you know this because don't you know somebody that works there or used to
Yeah.
work there?
Yeah, I've had friends and family.
That's what I'm saying. So you probably know that one, right?
I don't
What,
wanna
where
ruin
they
the
got
story.
3M.
Maybe it started with 3 men, so 3M.
Maybe it could have started with 3 guys. I don't know,
But it's
but
I know it.
Brandon,
Growing up in Michigan, I thought originally it stood for Michigan Mining and Manufacturing, but it's, I believe, Minnesota.
Close. Minnesota. Yeah,
Minnesota.
you're right.
Okay.
Minnesota
It was
Mining
just
and
too long,
Manufacturing
so-
Company.
The 3Ms.
Right.
Yeah, they just dropped it down to the 3Ms.
No, it's cool. 3M. I mean, you never know, right? Who would know that?
No, who would know that unless you work there?
Oh, yeah. 3M.
Then maybe there's a story on the wall or something.
Yeah. Science Applied, I think.
What you got for us, Bobby? You're
Anyway.
deep in thought over there. I know you got one.
Well, I've got a whole bunch, but do you know how Intel got their name?
Intel.
No.
Yeah.
Do tell.
Intel.
Blank on that.
So everybody knows about Intel. It's in your computers, whatever. So I'm going to tell you how they got their
Okay.
name.
Okay.
Their original name was NM Electronics after Robert Noyce and Gordon Moore, who
Weak.
started the company. So
Oh,
and
Noyce
they-
and Moore. Yeah, of course.
So weak. So weak. So
well, everybody
they
knows
decided they
Noyce and
wanted to rename it, and the name they picked out was Integrated Electronics, but they realized that name was already taken. So instead
Oh.
of coming up with yet another name, they just dropped off some letters. So they took INT from Integrated and EL from Electronics, Intel. So essentially they took the same name that they wanted and just shortened it.
Nice.
So kind of like Lexus, they pieced a phrase or okay. I had no idea.
I think
Intel.
Xerox is that way too. Xerox is
Xerox?
short for something. I don't
Yeah,
remember what it is,
If
but
only-
it's short
if
for
only we had
something.
de-
They just
if
shortened it
only
down.
we had devices to look that up with.
Well, Xerox, I've got this one. It was derived from 2 Greek words, Xeros and Graphos. Xeros means dry, Graphos means writing. So Xerox.
Oh, cool.
Some dry writing,
Dry writing. That's
Nothing like
Xerox.
some dry writing.
of course.
Man.
You guys know what Nabisco stands for?
Nabisco.
Nabisco.
Man,
They
that
got
makes me
good
hungry.
music.
Just chanting that makes me hungry for a good diabetes in a package.
Yeah.
So
Some chicken
okay,
and biscuit.
I have no idea what Nabisco came from or stands for or
It's National Biscuit Company. Nabisco.
okay.
So
Okay.
simple.
I like that.
Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
Geico has a similar name. Do you know what Geico?
Is that Greek for 15 minutes?
Yeah, it's Greek for save $15, 15%
Wow.
more on your car insurance.
You knew that
Nailed
right
it.
away,
I
Brandon.
nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
No, actually, it's the Government Employees Insurance Company.
Oh, stop
Geico.
it. So it's like okay. Wow.
Nice.
So you would think, oh, this is such a cool name. No, it's just they had a really long name and they had to abbreviate it.
That's how a lot of these were. They just had
Okay.
long names, and they were just trying to shorten them up.
Wow. How
So,
about
a place that we probably all shop, Amazon.com.
Amazon?
Do you know how they got their name?
No clue.
I think. Well, okay. Go ahead. I'm not sure. So
Yeah, so Jeff Bezos was looking to, when he was choosing his company name, he decided he wanted it to start with A, so it would always be near the top of alphabetical list, kind of like phone books. You see a lot of companies back when there were phone books, like AAA, auto insurance, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, his
absolutely.
original website was cadabra.com, and he wanted it to start with A, so he picked Amazon. But I was thinking about it, and I'm like, why didn't he go with Alacadabra?
or
Or
abracadabra.
abracadabra.
Even better.
Not
That's what-
alacadabra, abracadabra.
That's what I was
Because
thinking too.
Yeah, like abracadabra, like whatever you want in the world, it's on your doorstep.
I'm an abracadabra
no.
that.
Yeah, but he ended up with Amazon because it was an A word, and it just happened to be the largest river in the world.
And then if you look at the logo,
Nice.
There's the little smile face on it to bring joy and happiness. But it goes from A to Z, the smiling face, representing that they sell everything from A to Z. So they've carried that over into their logo. That's okay.
I still
had
think
no idea.
Abracadabra would be the way better
It's
name
not
for that guy.
bad.
I agree.
It's not bad. Alibaba is like a Chinese competitor. I thought that was a good name, but abracadabra.
Well, they totally stole his logic. We just need an A.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Well, speaking of online companies, how about Etsy?
Etsy.
Etsy,
Love me some Etsy.
where you can sell your wares, homemade even. So Etsy, e-commerce platform that some of us may know. So you're connecting buyers, independent sellers. So Rob Callan built this thing from scratch. He was inspired by the Italian phrase meaning "oh yes" or "and yes."
yes.
So he kept hearing the phrase si, si, and thought it sounded like Etsy, and it sounded cute to him, quote unquote.
That is cute.
Yeah.
So cute.
I like
si, si, that was cool.
That's a good one. What about Big Five? Big Five Sporting Goods. What you guys go to Big Five?
I once in
have
a
been
while,
to Big
if
Five.
I need an obscure sports equipment item, I'll hit Big Five. And does it stand for like the Big Five sports, or does it? I
Nope.
guess I don't know. Okay.
It's so when you're a hunter and you're into hunting, there's a big 5 animals of the world that you're hunting. That's what it means. It's the lion, the elephant, the rhino, buffalo, and leopard.
That's
And
big
so they
game.
just they were designed around hunting equipment, and they went with the Big 5.
Does PETA
That's their
know
name.
this?
Probably not, but now they do.
Okay.
Secret's out.
Shout out to our PETA listeners. We just read it
We'll
out.
just change
Big
the
Five.
subject real quick. Snapple. How about Snapple? Do you know where Snapple got its name?
No idea.
Spice and apple.
No.
Snapple. For real.
Spiced apple juice.
Yeah, spiced apple juice.
Really?
Spice and apple. Snapple.
Snapple.
There
Yeah,
you
I
go.
didn't think that was like somebody's last name or anything, but okay.
Dr. Rulin K. Snapple.
Meet my dad, Bill Snapple. He's part of the Snapple Empire. Okay, so it was a combination of words, like a lot of these companies we're finding out. Just drop some letters here and there, and you shove them together. You got yourself a
All right.
company name.
So we've all
Yeah, man.
Skyped before, right?
Okay.
Yeah, Skype.
Yeah. Skype is Sky peer-to-peer. It
Wow.
was a phrase described for voice over IP service.
Nice. That's
That's
cool.
awesome.
I like that one.
That is kind of clever. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, they originally started calling themselves Skyper, but eventually they dropped the R, so it's just Skype now.
Skyper, no
It's
Skyping.
too close to sniper,
Yeah.
I think.
But they could still call the users of Skype a Skyper, maybe. Are you a Skyper? Yeah, I Skype.
I don't feel like Skype's nearly as popular as it used to be, though.
Yeah, it was started definitely pre-pandemic, and then it gained some momentum during the pandemic, but I think it's lost some of that momentum by now. As people are using other things. That's interesting, though. That's still cool. Sky people and peers. Sky peers. Is that what you said?
Well, it was Skypers.
Right.
But yeah, it's for Sky peer-to-peer networking. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Starbucks. Do you know where they got their name?
No clue.
It's simply a character from Moby Dick. His name was Starbuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
He liked his
Starbuck.
coffee.
Oh. And that really? Is that they pulled it from? That's one of the few
Moby
books
Dick.
I've read, start to finish. Okay.
There she blows.
All right. Call me Ishmael. Keep it going.
How about
So do you
Accenture?
know how Twitter got its name?
Okay. Twitter, huh? Yeah. We're gonna Twitter pate. It's gotta be short for Twitter pated.
So
Well,
Jack Dorsey, right, was the founder of
yeah,
Twitter.
Jack
kidding. I don't
Dorsey.
know.
He originally rejected the name Twitch,
Twitch.
but he kept looking through the dictionary to find similar words. He came across Twitter. It means a short burst of inconsequential information.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I feel like it's still true to its name.
Absolutely.
A short
Yeah,
burst of
absolutely.
inconsequential information.
Fit the platform. Yeah. And the intent. That's cool. That's fun.
How about Accenture?
Accenture, never wondered on that one, but I'm sure there's a
What?
fun story.
ACC is the Anderson Consulting
Oh wow.
Corp.
Accenture.
ACC Accenture. That's where they get it. Anderson Consulting Corp.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
Affleck. Everybody's seen an Affleck commercial, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it stands for American Family Life Assurance Company of Columbus.
Wow.
I'm certainly glad they shortened that, and I'm sure it
Yeah.
saved them $1 billion over the years in marketing that
Guaranteed.
they just went with Affleck.
Guaranteed.
Guarantee. Huh.
Yeah, so I think we could come up with a company and name it now. Like,
Okay,
I was
okay.
so overwhelmed with picking out a company name, but reviewing some of these, it's like, you know what? You just throw something together and see if it sticks.
How about Ford? We all know what that stands for, right?
Found on road.
I mean, that's what they intended, right?
Fix or repair daily. Just kidding.
Sorry to our Ford.
That one's a fake one.
Right.
That one's a fake one. We all know that's named after
old
Mr.
Henry.
Ford.
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
Okay. Let's talk about Taco Bell. I'm
Well-
I'm guilty of getting a number 6, the chalupa meal, every now and again.
I love the Doritos Locos Tacos, especially if it's after 10 p.m. Their name, they're just simply named after the founder.
Did you
Glenn
just say
Bell,
especially?
He did.
Especially.
Okay. We'll have to listen back to the tape on that one.
Especially.
Refs.
Especially.
What's the ruling on that?
Hey, come on. Glenn liked tacos, so it's Taco Bell.
Okay.
Wait,
I
what?
like it.
Like,
Okay,
really
say
is
it again.
named-
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
it's named
Go
after
ahead.
the founder?
Yeah, his name is Glenn Bell. He liked tacos, so he has Taco Bell.
Oh, wow.
He's not even Spanish.
No. Well, I don't think anybody would ever accuse Taco Bell of being.
What? That's not authentic Mexican food? Come on.
I don't think there's any of them. And yet,
Nope.
they get my money every now and again. I will admit that. But, wow, Taco Bell just cruising. No idea. Bring back the Chihuahua.
So here's actually a fun one considering rating systems in the world today. Like everything's rated on stars. How many stars do you rate something as good?
5
this
stars.
this episode is a 5-star episode, sir. But continue.
Okay, perfect. So do you know what the meaning of Samsung is in Korean?
Sam
Must be 5 stars.
No, it stands for 3 stars. Samsung in Korean means 3 stars.
3 stars.
What?
Oh. Well, maybe that was a high rate. Maybe that was their rating system on a scale.
3
of
stars
3
might have been fabulous when they started, but
Yeah.
now everything's on a 5-star. Like, are they sitting there thinking, man, we got to rename?
Powerful, popular company. Why change the name now?
Well, if they wanted to rename to what Korean is for 5 stars, I don't think it'd be catchy. According to Google Translate, it'd be Baio Desiosege.
What'd you call me?
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can. I'm going to let Google tell me what it says.
That
Well, while we're on the subject, though,
Bios Desasate.
of stars, I think we need to remind all of you that are listening to rate this episode 5 stars.
There we
Like
go.
and subscribe.
That would help.
Don't rate a Samsung because that's only 3 stars.
That
That's
sure
right.
would help, though. If we could get just a rating or 2 from you. We're begging for ratings here.
Okay, Grandpappy.
But let's make our own company name. How about BMB? Bobby, Matt, Brent? No, I don't like BM. I don't like BM anything.
I don't like BMs.
BMW.
Companies are crazy, man. Companies are crazy. And yet
Yep.
clever, and they're taking our money. So congratulations on
Speaking
that.
of crazy company, you guys, crazy company.
You are the crazy
Bad
one.
company.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Only Stupid Questions podcast. Give us a like and a subscribe. Please leave a review wherever you listen to your podcast.
Only stupid questions.